Welcome to the prop market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my WNBA prop picks for August 23rd, 2026. Super tired yesterday, so I did not make a video last night. I did post a lot of picks in the premium. Actually, I'll have more in there. Two WNBA plays, an MLB play, and I will have a NFL premium play as well for you in the premium. Uh, Yesterday, 1 in 1 day. So wasn't our best day ever, but wasn't our worst day either. Won't be doing an NFL preseason show just because there's only one game, and honestly, um, the viewership is not where I want it to be. So it's almost not worth my time at this point to be putting in all the energy. So I will just put out a premium pick in the premium. We may be heading that way if we don't get more views as the regular season rolls around. Although I do understand there's a lot of people out there that cannot bet on the NFL preseason, so that makes sense to me. And plus, it is a niche. Although people don't understand what we're doing here as far as sports betting, it doesn't matter if it's the Super Bowl or an NFL preseason game. It all pays the same, but obviously, people have different ideas when it comes to that. I'm not here to change anybody's point of view. I'm just here to give you some really good picks, some really good information that you can choose to take or not. So that's always got to remember that too. Whenever I give you a pick, you're given free will. So free will basically means you can take the pick if you like it, and if not, don't take it. If you want it, like it, either way, it doesn't really make a difference to me. I'm betting everything I pick on this show. I'm one of the few people that actually do put my money where the mouth is. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to our first pick for today. First pick of today is going to be Isabel Harrison of the Tempo. PRA season average 18, PRA projection 21. The number has been inflated too high, in my opinion. I do understand the Tempo are dealing with some injuries. I do understand that her usage should be higher than it usually is. But I also realize that she's going against Asia Wilson, who's going to be motivated in this matchup. She's trying to push for that MVP. I know she is. So it's a situation also where people face her, have to play more defense, sometimes get in foul trouble. Also, she's been under this line 75% of the games this season, and she's coming off a really good game. I like to fade non-superstars after a really good game. It's just something that I do. It's one of my core principles that I go with. I mean, I don't, especially when you talk about a role player, I don't see them having good games over and over and over again. It's just not even sustainable for a star player to do it, but for sure a role player. So I do like the under 24.5 PRA for Isabel Harrison. The next player we're going to go is Flo J. Johnson of the Storm. PRA season average 21, PRA projection 23. More usage and volume in this game. Uh, I just expect more volume in this game for her. As you got Natisha Hardiman out, that bodes well for this over. Also, um, she saw 30 plus minutes in the last game. I think she continues to see that. The Wings are not a great defense versus her position, so her shooting guard position. So I mean, you got a lot of things working in her favor. On top of the fact, this season is pretty much over for the Storm. I don't see why they don't trot her out there and play her as many minutes as possible. I mean, they're not really playing for anything. So you might as well get your young girls out there and let them play. She's one of those people, a high draft pick. Think she plays a good amount of minutes. Give me her over 21.5 PRA. Also, the Wings have a tendency to allow people to shoot threes. So I think she's going to get off at least six threes in this game. Hopefully, she makes half of them and we easily cash this line. Last pick is going to be Asia Wilson of the Aces. PRA season average 40, PRA projection 40. Great matchup for her in this one. She's facing off against a tempo team that's just bad at defense in general. They're bad versus her position, 11th in the WNBA versus her position, and there's only 12 teams. Um, Also, she should get involved in this game a lot. As I said earlier, I think she's pushing for this MVP award. She hasn't been, shooting very efficiently in the last two games, so this is a bounce back spot for her, believe it or not. At this line, I like it a lot. I played it at 38.5. That's what I gave it out. I'm giving it out at 39, 38.5. I see it went up to 39.5. I still feel confident with that one. Not as confident as maybe the other two picks, but I still like it. I mean, it's hard to go against Asia Wilson against a really bad team. Now, the possibility of blowout is there. One thing I realized about the WNBA compared to any other league, and then I watch I'll be wrong on this one, but they do play their starters a lot more. So they don't really like, feed to the blowouts. I mean, Becky Hammond does have an NBA background, so maybe she kind of fades to that. But watching WNBA, man, a game could be a 40-point game and you still have starters out there. And we could be going into the fourth quarter. I think they just have their minutes set. They don't really deviate too much, and maybe they just really don't trust the backups. Maybe they're not going to do well at all. So with that being said, I like the over 38.5 PRA for Asia Wilson. If you can get that, if you have to play the 39.5, I'd play that too. I would not play it any higher than 39.5. That is my absolute highest. I will play her, but 38.5 was a sweet spot. I was able to get in there with that. Hopefully it goes back down and keeps going up and down, as people are making bets because these markets, man, they're very volatile. If you guys haven't realized, I know a lot of people make comments and say things about the line changes and stuff like that. That's part of sports betting. Like they have the ability to change these lines at any time, and you don't know why they change. So sometimes they change the line because a huge bet came in and they want to try to like middle themselves as they call it. And then there's, middle the ground because they want to lessen the blow if that cash does cash. So they want people to start betting the other way, right? So they lower the line. Maybe somebody came in heavy on the over and so now they have to move it up because they don't want more that person to keep hammering that same play or people like that person hammer that same play. And then sometimes information comes out that they're privy to that we're not because we're the general public. Sometimes, and I'm not trying to accuse none of these sports books of anything like that, but they work with these leagues. They're sponsored by these leagues. So sometimes they get the information a little bit earlier. You can't help but think that is part of the situation where they get these picks a little bit earlier. If you're a person that agrees with me on that, hit it up in the comment section. Do you think these leagues that are sponsored by Prize Picks or Underdog or whatever, DraftKings, do you think they get the information before us? I would say, yeah, I would say DraftKings get the information before the public and Underdog and Prize Picks. So when you see lines move, just know they may have got something that the public or anyone else doesn't know. $30 for 3 months is my package for my premium. I'm gonna put a NFL preseason pick in there, probably before the show's even posted. I'm also gonna put in a WNBA, another pick for the WNBA. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for showing appreciation, always liking and subscribing. And with all that being said, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.